There's a lot of talk about improving academic staff and student AI literacy. But what does that mean? And what could we actually practically do to realise that? Well, one of the things I'm working on at the moment is thinking about ways in which generative AI might enable us to bridge some of the gaps that already exist in our very diverse student populations, particularly neurodiverse students. And what I've got here is the notes that I've taken on a lecture that I've just attended. Let's imagine I'm a student. I've gone to a lecture. I'm trying my best to take notes as I go. It's not really suiting my ways of engaging cognitively with information. But anyway, I sat through the lecture from Dr. Giancocino on neuroplasticity. These are some of the notes that I came up with. And what I want to do is own that, but make sure that it coheres in a way that I can go back to and use those notes either to give me some confidence that I've got some good information, or to actually review that as a launch point for further study or further work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a prompt. And the prompt says, rewrite these notes so that it creates a numbered list of points, corrects spelling errors, avoids repetition, leads with most significant points, and in a clearly separated section identifies between 5 and 10 key points I may have missed from the lecture. I don't actually think it's a bad idea putting my prompt into my document. Try and ignore the ones that I'll come to in a minute below, because I might use the same sort of prompt again. I could use any one of a number of similar tools, but I'm going with ChatGPT as it's the most familiar. And you'll note that I am using GPT-4, which is the paid version, but GPT-3 will give you a similar output. So I've pasted that prompt and the notes in. Let's see what it comes up with. And what you should notice here is that it is doing exactly what I've asked it to do. So it's helping me as a study assistant here. It's organizing the information. It's clarifying some of the points. It's correcting my rough typed notes in terms of spelling errors and so on. It's taken a lead from the level that I've indicated in the notes and suggested some other areas that I might want to explore in more detail, which I could, for example, take some of these points and go into a Socratic dialogue and ask it to explain those things. If I think, okay, I get that, that's not a bad start, but I think maybe I could get it to represent things in another way. I could use this prompt here, for example, which reads, let's clarify, take those lecture notes and tabulate the information in a way that helps me learn the core content. And so what it's doing is it's taking that same amount of information, still my information, still something that I've got ownership from. I'm not just generating stuff from nowhere on a broad topic. This is different, and I think it's a really important way to get people to think about and understand how not only they can use their own information to be the core of whatever is produced within a large language model, generative AI, but also that you can use prompt engineering to organize it in a particular way and help make sense of things according to the way that you like to see information. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you very much.